Oh, what is going on, guys? It is a beautiful Friday. Got some stuff going on with my car. I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to answer your Instagram questions that you submitted to me. So first, I kind of want to talk about some weird problem that's going on with my car, and I don't know what it could be. We suspect that it could be a wheel bearing issue. Over the course of Pigeon Week, Mustang Week, we started hearing, or actually I started hearing like a weird ticking from the rear section of my vehicle around the wheel area, and we assumed it could be possibly a wheel bearing issue. I checked to see if there was any play in the wheel, and I didn't notice any. I'm going to be taking it to my buddy Anthony later this afternoon. We're going to be kind of looking at and seeing if we can spot anything that's kind of a glaring problem and look towards fixing it. So, like I said, got that one little weird problem going on with my car right now, but I'm not too concerned with, I guess, the issue until it gets worse. It could be a normal sound. It could be a sign of something worse. We'll just have to see. But I am kind of concerned about it just because Streetcar Takeover is coming around. It's looming in the next few weeks. So we'll see what happens. It could cause me not to want to run. I don't want anything catastrophic to happen when I'm doing a big pull with the car. So we'll see. I'm going to update you guys later this weekend. I do want to put out some more YouTube videos just so that I can kind of just, you know, keep it going. Let's go over the Instagram questions that you guys gave to me, and let's cover that. Let me pull up the post from yesterday. All right, so here's the post. And the first question we have is from I Draw Cars, and he says, what do you think about the Eurospec taillights, and would you run them? So when it comes to the Eurospec taillights, if you guys don't already know, there's a couple companies or a couple retailers that sell them. I know S550 Euros, and I've even seen them on Amazon. They sell the copies. They're like 2018 Euros. I don't know. The pricing is really good. It's like $400 to $600, something like that. I've been seeing them get really popular on Instagram. I'm kind of just waiting to see how long they last, if anybody reports any types of issues with them. That's really kind of what I'm waiting for, to see what happens with that first. I think the pricing is really good. I just know that when something like that comes out that's like sub $1,000, a lot of people tend to buy it up really fast, and it seems to be super popular. A lot of people post them up. So I'm kind of just sitting on it for a little bit. Maybe I'll get maybe I'll get a pair eventually. We'll see. Emerson Noguera 127 says, would you ever try to drift your Mustang? If you have, how was it? I've had some parking lot fun with this car. I haven't entered a drift event with it. Now I have done some drifting with my S197, and honestly, like, personally, I feel like with the S197, I was more confident in it just because I had that car for like 6-7 years. So I threw it around a lot in the parking lots. I entered a couple grassroots events. I did one drifting event at Turner Field with my 300ZX, but I just haven't done it with the S550. I would love to, but to me, the S550 still feels like a new car to me. Like, it's still something that I'm paying on a little bit. You know, I got a lot more power than I did in my S197, and it's just, to me, I feel like the S550, I'm concerned about it breaking right now. I don't want any huge major catastrophic things to happen yet with the car. I'm not really prepared for that, so it's kind of one of those things where if you're not really ready to break something and can't afford to pay for something catastrophic, don't do it. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't really want to spend the money on a major repair on this car just yet, right? I've got other stuff that I want to buy. I got other stuff that I'm planning, life-wise, house-wise, that I need to get taken care of first before I start dumping it back into my car. Some people may give me shit for that, but you know, at the end of the day, it's kind of my money. But I do want to. I eventually it would be fun to enter this car in a drift event, get some cheap like 19s or something, get some takeoff tires, and do that. So the next question is One Low 4.0 says, "What's your favorite car that's coming in the next model year or two?" Obviously, for me, the Supra, the GR Supra, was kind of a flop. Like I'm not a fan of it. For some obvious reasons. I love certain imports. I love the Mark IV Supra. I love the R34 Skyline. I'm not as much of a fan of the R35 Skyline. Same with the Supra. It's just not, I'm not an engineer, automotive engineer. I don't know the marketing trends or whatever. But that's just not the direction I would have taken those two cars. I would have had the R35 modeled closely after the R34. I would have included a manual transmission. And the GT500 doesn't come with a manual transmission either. I'm just not a fan of DCT type transes. I get it, like, PDKs, they're all great, they're all popular. They work really well. They shift faster than any other human can. I just prefer a manual transmission. If I was super hardcore into drag racing and I wanted to make a fast time, an automatic would probably be my preferred thing to get. I enjoy driving my car. Like, I enjoy driving it. This car has rarely seen the drag strip. It's seen more road course time than it has drag racing time. So that's kind of where I stand with my car. Obviously as the years go by, opinions can change, my feelings can change, but I got the drag racing bug out of me with my S197, and it just doesn't interest me. But to answer your question, the C8, I would love to see the C8. I would love to drive the C8. In the past 5 months, I got to drive a C7 finally, and it was a super nice car. I love the C7. I know I'm not super pro Chevy, but the C7 is a great car. I'm sure the C8 is going to be even greater. So Matt the Lefty says, how much trouble did you have getting your grill on? Mine was a bitch to get to fit. It wasn't too bad. I've gotten used to pulling grills on and off the car. So yeah, it wasn't bad at all. So Devin the guy says, describe what you were going for with your Mustang. So I don't know really what you mean by what I was going for. When I did buy the car, I was kind of more into drag racing, but when I drove the S550, it didn't feel like a muscle car to me. It felt more like a like a sports car. So I don't know. Like, I'm not sure, like, if you mean what I was building my car for. But at the end of the day, when it comes to my car, I was really kind of just an aggressive street build. Like, I didn't want to just like have it geared towards one thing, like drag racing or road racing. I guess if you build it towards road racing, you could still drive it on the street pretty easily. And I really just wanted a car that was fun, super fun to drive on the street. It could hold its own against certain races. Like, I just wanted a car for myself, right? I didn't want to build a car for any specific thing, if that makes sense. So I don't know if that's a crappy answer to your question, but that's just kind of how I feel about it. One Slow GT says, why an S550? Do you have an all-time favorite Mustang year? So if you don't know the backstory, I had an S197 with a Paxton 2200, put down about 500 to the tire. It was a really fun car. It was a 3-valve. That was my first Mustang. I was a Subaru guy beforehand. And why a Mustang, or why an S550? When I first saw the car at the AJC Auto Show, I was not a huge fan of the looks. They had a base model with like base wheels, and I was like, it looks okay, but I'm happy with my car. When I test drove it, that was kind of when everything changed. The test drive kind of convinced me that I was like, man, I gotta get one of these. So long story short, the chassis, the suspension changes, everything, it just felt like a really, really nice car compared to my S197, interior wise and everything else. So that's why I chose the S550. My favorite all-time Mustang year model, I can't really say I have one. I love notchback Fox bodies. I love 13 to 14 S197s. I still have a love for like the '05 to '09s. Of course, the older ones, you know, the vintage ones. Like, I like all of them. Um, you know, I can't say I was always a Mustang guy. You know, I when I was an import guy, I kind of adopted that type of hate where it was like, oh, you know, just Mustangs were kind of the not the cool car to like back in the day. If you were like maybe in your when you started driving in like 2001, 2002, Mustang wasn't really the cool car to have for us. Um, Winters S550 says, will you ever paint the Stalker accent pieces an alternate color? Again, love that look. So I'm assuming you're talking about like these pieces down here. It's possible. I know I did the gunmetal gray, and I've got the certain theme going on with my car, and it's possible I might do that. I don't know yet. Right now, paint is kind of the last thing on my mind. Changing anything with the outside of the car. This winter, I'm going to be looking at getting SSR Collision to mold the spoiler in. We're going to seal these holes. We're going to make everything flush, and it's going to be one piece molded into the trunk. So it's not going to be two separate pieces. It's going to be seamless. It's going to be super clean. That's going to be something that I'm going to be super proud of to show off at Mustang Week next year. So Jay's 3 Valve says, y'all should take a trip to Albuquerque, New Mexico next June for an event called Desert Fest. We would love to go drive out there. And we were talking about it at Mustang Week with somebody, one of Julie's friends from Arizona. We were talking about making it out west with our cars, even if we trailered it or did something else. It's a possibility. I've got a lot of things that I want to do next year, and I'm going to try to focus on getting that done. I want to do some camping. I want to do some traveling that isn't car related. So we'll see. It's possible we might make it out there for just to attend, you know, just to kind of hang out and see what's going on out there. Slow Eco says, what got you interested in cars, and what was your first car you started to modify? So this is going to be kind of a funny answer. What got me into cars, I was a senior in 2001. That's when Fast and the Furious came out. Seeing that movie and getting my license, that went hand in hand. When the first Fast and the Furious came out, I pretty much had my license. I just got my license. So like that really kind of jump started things. I was in the cars, like maybe, you know, like Lambos and stuff, like cool cars when I was a kid. But I can't say like, you know, my family was turning wrenches when I was a kid. Like that wasn't the case. So yeah, when the Fast and the Furious came out, I just got my license. My first car was like a family car. It was a 1999 Ford Taurus. I did a lot of questionable, cringy things to that car because of Fast and the Furious. I put a muffler on it. I went to AutoZone. I did all that bullshit that like people make fun of these days. But it was new back then. And yeah, you know, I did the hood lights and all that stuff. So it was super ricey. But yeah, I would say that's the honest answer. What got me into cars? And that was the first car I started to mod. Immoral Automotive says, update on the computer room. Seeing both setups. Yeah, I'm going to do a video on that coming up. It would be too long to include in this video. But yeah, just keep an eye out. I'm going to be doing a video about that. Asian Tony says, how much was the build? Oh gosh, that would be another video. So we're gonna be doing a video. I'm gonna be doing a build video on this car, and I'm gonna be doing a build video on Julie's Azuras. Those are gonna be two separate videos, and it's gonna be covering. Sorry, so yeah, as I was saying, we're gonna have two separate build videos. We're gonna go over from bumper to bumper, what's on the car, how much it cost me, and kind of just cover everything, like every single thing that I have touched, modified, from the tuning to how much the Whipple was, who I got the Whipple from, the hydro dipping, the seats, the Alcantara interior, the wheels, all the wheels that I've done, the spoiler, all the issues and problems and parts and like all the things that I've changed on the car. We're going to cover that. So you'll want to keep an eye out for that video. S197 Nix says, what power level are you going for, or are you happy at 700? Right now, I'm very happy with the 740 that I put down on pump gas. It's a very fun car to drive. It's a very fun car to drive in the heat, which is really, really crazy to me because I've always had issues with heat soak with previous vehicles, just the car feeling sluggish in the heat. This one is the one setup that does not feel sluggish in the heat with the Whipple and how the torque comes in. It feels great. So right now, I'm really happy with the power level that I'm at. Ultimately, I would love to be over 1,000. I'd like to hit that 4-digit club eventually. Have it detuned maybe for the street, but I would like to hit that number someday. NATO50 says, if you had to get rid of the car, what would be the build next? If I had to get rid of this one, I wouldn't mind. I would love to get a Viper. That's my next ultimate end goal vehicle. It's kind of a goals car. Like, I'm 36 years old. I kind of want a Viper. Not kind of. I do want a Viper. And that's really kind of one of the goals that I want to set before, like, either before I'm 40, I would like to get a Viper. And then I would love to mod that through my 40s. I want to make it super fast. I want to either do twin turbos or something like that, just to make it crazy. That would be my ultimate goal. I do not want an NA car anymore. I just enjoy boost too much. You think you will put a built motor in Talib S550? I would like to do a light motor build on this car. Light motor build, I would like a built trans, drive shaft, half shafts, and I'd be super happy. I would love to have a fairly reliable car to take out to the drag strip occasionally, take out to the road course, have fun on the highway. I just kind of want an all-around vehicle like that, and I'm probably going to need to build the motor in the next year or so. So that is a possibility. Your other question was the drivetrain, half shaft drive. I just answered that one. X Taylor Evans, maybe not YouTube worthy, but do you still make or sell decals? I'd love to order 4 or 5 or so. Julie Azura50 does all of our decals. I know she's been kind of burned out because she did a lot for Mustang Week. But yeah, we should be able to get something taken care of for you. But yeah, you reached out to me through DMs. I'll reach out to you in the next week or so, and we'll get back to you. One Slow 50 right there says, shout out to me, I need followers bad. There you go, there's your shout out. S550 _ Sully, should I make a YouTube video too and show the world what a Gapperoni pizza looks like? Yes, absolutely. Send it. ATL Dodge Viper says, you going to get a Viper? I'm down the road and would be cool to have Viper fam around too. Yes, eventually I would love to get a Viper. I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. You know, life things. There's a lot of things that I haven't talked about on video or mentioned that I do want in the future. You know, these are all videos that I would love to make. If you guys want to see me cover more personal stuff, I don't mind talking to you guys about it. Obviously, if you're here and you're watching this video and you made it this far, I don't mind opening up to you guys about my past. If you're interested in that type of thing, how I got to where I am today, just all kinds of different things. I don't mind talking about it. You know, for the most part, I'm a fairly open book. So yeah, if you guys want to talk, leave a comment below. That kind of wraps up all the Instagram questions that were submitted to me. So if you have any comments or you want to talk about anything, just let me know. Today we're going to be heading to Power Lab Performance to record Julie's burnout. I'm going to go to my buddy Anthony to see if we can figure out what's going on with this rear wheel and tire. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy this video, and we will talk to you guys later. Bye.